In this week's Memes and Machines, we dived into everything from AI, the new Deepseek moment, Manus AI, what is it? What do you need to know? We dive into short form content. Why do we all have ADHD? What are some of the pros? What are some of the cons of a increasingly TikTokified world? We speak about live, and we all share some of our deepest secrets. What does our algorithm say about each of us? And maybe we're going to take this thing live. We're figuring out, can we do this episode live? We record it basically live anyway, so we're going to try and figure that out. Ba-boom, subscribe, like, all of the above.
Sit back, grab a cold beverage from the fridge and relax, because you're now locked into the sounds of memes and machines.
Memes and Machines, good to see you fellas. How you both doing?
Amazing. Sun's out.
All right. Good. You know what? I am very glad that I didn't have record hit for the last 15 minutes in the green room, because both of you would destroy my reputation, get me cancelled, and we would never get any brand attention ever again with the home truths that were being spoken in that green room. There you go, silence. Now we're recording. Now you had a lot to say. You had a lot to say 15 minutes ago. Now, not so much to say. There we go.
Fix that smoke alarm. I can hear that beeping, and ever since that beeping, now when I'm at home and I'm on the call and I hear it, I think it's mine. I'm attuned to that beeping.
You're making him paranoid.
I don't even hear it anymore.
Exactly. You don't. I can hear it through your live stream now. I couldn't hear it before, and now I can hear it.
I can hear it too.
I keep thinking it's mine.
There we go. It just adds a bit of character, ambience, little ambience. Right, gents. I got a couple of things I want to speak to you on about today. I'm going to kick off, and I'm going to come to you, Chris. There's something called Manus AI that went boom on the internet for a number of reasons, and for anyone not aware, it's similar to Operator, but built on Claude, and the idea is it will take control of your computer and independently run tasks you give it. And there was some demos going around. People were doing everything from like developing websites independently for an hour, analyzing stocks. People were creating games. Some people were like optimizing their website. This was AI in the wild doing wild things built on one of the most advanced models. And it is pretty mind-blowing when you see it. Chris, over to you. What are your thoughts? How is this going to impact us marketing? And just give us your headlines.
Well, it's been seen as the second Deepseek moment, and I understand why, because Deepseek basically wiped $1 trillion off of the market in the USA because it was, far cheaper, far more advanced than anyone expected. And the headline from OpenAI was that they're going to start charging $2,000 a month for knowledge workers, which is their version of agents. So everyone was quite surprised because there's a $20 plan, a $200 plan, and now there's going to be a $2,000 a month plan. And you're going to basically have an employee. And then we got Manus. Manus is a far more competent, far cheaper thing that basically did what Deepseek did to the others. It made it look ridiculous in that they managed to do it with 1/100th of the compute and 100th of the money. So OpenAI's $2,000 a month thing no longer looks like a viable thing for those that are interested in Manus and Chinese versions of this stuff, because it'll be far cheaper. So they're beating OpenAI to the punch is what this Manus is. And they're doing it consistently now, which is interesting to see. And it looks capable, but only very few people in the world have actual access to it right now. I know some people that do have access, but basically it's like Chinese phone number type thing, like a lot of them do when they first launch. It's sort of a staged rollout. So they'll do it from the country where it orientates from, in this case, China. And then they'll sort of include more of Asia and then the rest of the world and yada, yada, yada. But it's impossible to take, millions of people overnight from a global audience to a new
It would be
platform.
chaos. It would be absolute pandemonium.
It was working really slow even for the rollout they were doing because of how viral it was going in social media.
What did the people you spoke to who used it? What have they said? Are the demos like accurate? Because the demos are actually the things I've seen are like they are pretty.
No, it's kind of a little bit of there's a few words for this in the like video space. We call it cherry picking. They show the best examples of stuff and
10 wild examples.
Yeah. So the one that was going viral was a locally downloaded one on a computer system. It was from the cloud interface that others were using that was actually acting very slow because of I said the stage rollout. Even that didn't slow down the millions of Chinese people that wanted to try it because the viral push. And so actually the guy that tried it said, this is amazing, but it's really slow right now. It's nothing like the speeds that we saw in the demo videos because they had a localized version that was all, doing stuff without the constraint of the bandwidth of the cloud and everyone else using it and stuff like that. So
the social media one, that's the one that I saw.
Yeah, the one that was doing all of the 50 things at once on a screen.
Well, what was it? What was it doing?
It's just doing simultaneous tasks, and that's the difference.
But what though?
Anything you want. You can
but
ask
what though? It's funny though, and everyone's like, look how amazing it is. But what the fuck's it actually doing?
Yeah, why
What's
do you
it? No, like specifically, like what is it doing? Like really, like what is it actually doing?
Yeah, things that are, let's say in Instagram and X, there are like third-party integration tools that are allowable. ManyChat is one of them, Ben. You know this, right? So it does messages and stuff. So imagine it doing that. Imagine it's looking over and replying to an X comment and an Instagram comment and simultaneously across all your social media or something like that. That's the type of thing where I think it's going to be a workful use case for social media. But for others that are just doing like emails and things like, why you need 50 simultaneous tasks, I don't know. But the idea of an agent is very different to an LLM. Because an LLM, you ask it a question, it gives you a response. An agent, you give it a goal. The goal is to do something. Manage my Instagram, manage my this, manage my that. And it gives it itself tasks. So you give it the goal and it will say, this is the task that needs to be done. And then it will do it. And then it will report back. And then you approve it. And then it will do more and more tasks on its own independently. That's why it scares a lot more people, honestly.
I think the advantage that a lot of the businesses coming out of China have is they're not scared to get it wrong. OpenAI now, if they their operator starts completing tasks and does something illegal, the communication risk to them is so significant. Conversely, China don't give a fuck. Throw it out into the wild. But
you could argue though. I want your opinion on this, Solly, because you're a fan of Elon. I'm sort of in a mixed. I don't really like him anymore. I'm going to be just honest about that. Like I've really gone off the bloke because of his political things and the fact that he's not doing the things I used to like admire him for. But with all that aside, right? XAI and Grok is the only one that will allow deepfake celebrities. And that's Elon's AI. It's not a Chinese one. It's not anyone else's. It's Elon being the troll that he is, will allow major celebrities' faces to get generated through his app. And no one else is doing that.
He said on that, and just on my position on Elon, I'll say, I can deeply admire someone and respect their endeavors and not like them. Those two things can coexist, by the way.
It's like separating the music from the musician.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I still think R. Kelly's Ignition is a dope song, but he's a piece of shit, right? Like those two things can coexist.
Oh god, that was a bad one. You should have chosen someone other than R. Kelly, but yeah.
Of all the I could have gone down the list. I could say Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
I could have said. I know what you mean.
Yeah, I know.
I still like the song that I believe I can fly.
I know what you mean.
If I played Ignition right now,
you need to separate it from the artist. That's the thing that many people.
Chris, if I played Ignition right now, you'd be jamming. That's all I'm saying. I just want that. I'm gonna put that in the universe. But look, I think Elon, he said his mission with Grok was to be the most truth-seeking AI. And he said, unfortunately, the truth can be nasty, harmful, and dangerous. Like that's the point. That's what he said. Because one of the criticisms of him right now is if you go to Grok and you try and say, help me figure out how to make Semtex, and I haven't tried this myself, so it's just what I'm repeating what others say. The idea is that you can probably go get instructions on how to make Semtex. And his response to that criticism was, well, I can Google search how to do that anyway, which is or not Google search, but I can use a search engine to go find that information quite easily. And there is a little bit of truth on that. I certainly don't agree. I think we need guardrails in society. We can't just have pure pandemonium. These technologies are way too profound and powerful. And there's a contradiction in what Elon says anyway, because he talks about this as potentially one of the most dangerous things we've let out into the wild. He's been the biggest advocate for safeguarding for many years when Google started to consolidate power and have, 80% plus of all AI talent and capabilities. And he went, we need to open source it. We need to do ethical AI. And now it just seems like he's just playing the game and being the troll that he is in the world. So I don't know what to make of it. But if I was defending Elon, I would say he's making it a mission not to be a guarded AI, he's a truth-seeking AI, which the truth isn't always nice. That's what he would say.
Yeah, it's a weird time, isn't it? Like, I just don't know, because the Chinese, like you said, have this unique thing in that they can not worry about billions of dollars of overheads and going wrong and hallucination and using celebrities in their marketing. Even, Will Smith eating spaghetti is a great example. That is what these guys like Kling and others do. They don't care about like celebrities' likeness, and they're not bound by Hollywood and California law, which is where OpenAI and others operate from, so that they've got no option. Even if they wanted to do that, they can't do that. So it's interesting. Like, it's just Elon somehow subverts this and plays the troll game. Like, it is interesting that he's somehow getting away with it within the USA. Maybe because he's so now in with the government, which I'm not really happy with it
it's
either.
just, if you're going to be the villain, you can get away. There's a reason that I always talk about it from a comms point of view. If you pretend to be the perfect person in public and there's a small scandal, you've just cheated on your partner, you are a piece of shit in everybody's eyes. If you are a rapper that raps about, being a thug, selling drugs, and, whatever profanities you want, you can get away with pretty much anything. It's like when TikTok went after Eminem to try and cancel him for his lyrics. People are like, get the fuck out of here. That's not going to happen. And I think Elon's playing in that space, right? He's doing I'm going to be the villain. I'm going to lean into it. I'm bending the universe around me. And he kind of is.
I don't mind it though when it's an Eminem or someone like that, because what influence do they have? If you don't like his music, you literally don't listen to him.
It's different.
But if it's Elon, it's like,
you should hold him to higher standards when you run some of the most powerful corporations. You have so much influence over security, rockets, like you name it. I agree. But I tell you what, as a bystander, it's hella entertaining.
Well, over to you, Ben. Like, what do you think of this Manus when it comes to like, imagine that, like, would you entrust it? So like, imagine you adopted an AI agent to be your like YouTube editor or something like this. Like, how much hand-holding and approval would you need in order to make that, because I've been thinking about this too. Or entering the agentic era, Ollie's, got fingers in pies of agentic businesses. It's going to be big business. It's going to be $1 billion industry very, very soon. So how much do you trust it? Where would you like it? What would be the most useful things to do?
Yeah, I'd trust it. We're way off video, like being able to do video editing, like way off. I would probably just get it to do like research, ideas, scripting, planning, just like constantly searching the internet. I actually been using deep research on ChatGPT a little bit over the last few days and actually found it to be quite useful. And I've been actually
this guy's been slamming deep research for months, and then he comes out and goes,
because nobody shows any fucking use cases other than just doing complex formulaic algebra, which I don't need.
Exactly, Ben. Get the engineers out of the deep research and get them in there.
I know that you could do this on Perplexity somewhat, but I actually was just getting it to do deep research focused on Reddit. I don't want blog articles. I don't want people's regurgitated bullshit. I want like people's real opinions on stuff. And I've basically been using it to like analyze only on Reddit and like doing research on tools and information and because my most trusted source is Reddit or X, to be honest. like, because then I can read real people's opinions and read 20 of them and make and see the upvotes as well, and then make an usually like the most upvoted comment on a Reddit subreddit, like on a thread, is usually pretty accurate, like in terms of what's the best. People not hold back to call out people on Reddit. And I'm just sick of blog art. I will never look for information on blog articles because do you know what? I'm gonna actually give you a very weird example here. I was looking for a mattress topper for my bed, right? And I was looking on blog articles, and every single one just said the same one. And I shop from a website called Soak and Sleep. They're like a premium-ish. They make nice bedding. And I bought their mattress topper, and it was better. And I bought the top one on this list, this blog art that was on all of the listings, and it was shit. It was 45 quid. And the one from the place that I buy, UK manufacturer, was 65 quid. I bought it, and it was so much better. And I was like, why is this not on any of the lists? I'll tell you why. It's because they're all just regurgitating the same shit off every other list. Oh yeah, let me use a tool to write me a post that's SEO optimized that just scrapes all of the other posts that people have posted on other shit. And so now what we get is just so much information that's just like, it's not accurate. It's really not accurate. And you get this when you see the tech. Whenever I look at tech, I'm ranting here, but whenever I look at tech reviews and products and I go on the top 10s and I like know my shit on this section, I'm like, these are not in the, who has written this? Like Tom Hartley from fucking XYZ. Like, mate, all you've done is sat at your desk and you've just scraped all of the products from the other articles. And I'm just getting sick to death of just like websites just not really producing, I think, the most up-to-date and accurate information when it comes to like best stuff, or like, you know. And so I go to Reddit and I go to X, where real people, usually hid behind a profile picture, are giving their honest opinions. And it's just because they want to give their opinion and disagree or agree or, you know, upvote stuff. Yep. And
Mate,
again, that just relates back to how I've been using research.
You literally couldn't be more right. Me and Ollie have both worked in large agencies where they have entire SEO departments just for the #1 ranking of bed stuff.
Yeah.
They've got teams of 20 people writing, getting blog writers, guest blog writers, high domain links, do follow links, all of the above. None of that makes it the best bed topper. None of it. It all is just who can get the most links, who can write the best thing. None of it. So Google is no longer a good.
It goes to my point
for that.
Well, I guess that's kind of where I had this, like, I mean, I've been using Reddit for a long time, but then I just thought, like, why don't I use the deep? Because I used the deep research, and it was pulling from blog articles, and I was actually using it for voice generators, Chris, because there are actually quite a lot on the market, and I was looking for the best one for content creators, more affordable, and like, it was giving me blog articles, but like these articles, I know the people who've written these have not gone and used the tool. They have just copied everyone.
I want like who's on those articles. If that team, let's say it's Reese Beecher, has a PR person, she's reaching out, doing a guest blog link, getting a feature, and it's usually because they're not a Midjourney, they can't attract enough customers because they're not the best in market. Those with a strategy with outreach like that are actively saying, we can't get enough inbound traffic because we're not the #1 performer. So it's literally the opposite. You know, Midjourney, where have you ever seen it marketed anywhere? It's the best tool. Never have they once spent $1 on advertising. They don't need to. Their users push it.
You know what you're saying there? It describes, Naval has a famous saying about, if you get the product right, you don't need marketing. If you get marketing right, you don't need sales. And sales is the lowest common denominator, and you go down that hierarchy.
Can't say that to the salespeople.
I know.
Well, look, it's like a binary statement. It's of course not true, but there is roots in that. The kind of the reason OpenAI is where it is today is because it was a dope product. Like the reason like Midjourney is where it is because it's a dope product, not because of any marketeers influencing the 10%, not because of any great strategy, not because of any amazing ad campaigns. None of that influenced those businesses.
Nope. It was super useful to millions of people.
Yeah, and just adoption from there. Like, it's that delightful moment that you have when you experience something for the first time and you tell everyone. It's literally,
do you know what? There's a great documentary about that, Ollie. OpenAI had no idea the value of ChatGPT. They actually thought it wasn't worth $20 a month. And they really underestimated how much people just need everyday chatbot at a new level. They thought no one would pay for a $20 chatbot. It's not going to be that useful to people because it hallucinates, it does these other things. Little did they know, the world was waiting for this. The world was waiting for
What's
a
this called? A
mid-journey.
YouTube documentary, or
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's actually my favorite one that's coming out. I've got early access to this, and I've watched it. It's the best one. It's from Demis Hassabis, who is, by the way, Britain's new Alan Turing, and no one recognizes it. He's the guy that started DeepMind, that was acquired by Google,
okay.
and then worked from San Francisco. And he's the guy that beat the chess champion, you know, and he did all of these things in Cambridge, my hometown. So he really is the new person that we should be looking up to, but he's less than this documentary, though, is made by a film company. It's going to go massive. And it's about, like, you know, training AI to think like a human brain. And it's basically why he invented the transistor paper that all of this AI stuff has come from. Google weren't the first movers. Why? Because they had billions to lose, as you said. OpenAI didn't exist. They got their product out first. It was adopted by millions of people. Everyone's playing catch up because they have multi-billion dollars that they could lose if something goes wrong in a demo, like IBM and things like this have already have that. You know, like, issues have happened where like Adobe, you know, Adobe haven't pulled the trigger as fast as they should have. A lot of companies have arisen because Adobe's the big player in the market and they don't want to, you know, mess it up and get things out earlier than they think they
they'll
should.
just buy people. They just buy, like, once you're a corporation, you like DeepMind. Google bought DeepMind. Like,
Yeah.
the tech oligarch will just acquire.
I'm going to say it now. I think acquiring DeepMind may be bigger than them acquiring YouTube. I think it might have
Probably.
as much influence to society
Well,
as
they
YouTube
talk-
has. And
they
YouTube,
talk
that's very
about-
small. YouTube is the biggest library we've ever had, and it's like by far the biggest resource on the internet, you know, so it's no mean feat. But
Well, they-
DeepMind, I've literally solved the protein folding problem. That influenced millions of scientists to have an open source library for proteins that could solve cancer, solve, you know, all these things. So that alone could have repercussions in 10 years that we
Well,
have
they
no
say-
idea about.
They say Google is the best placed of all companies to win the AI race because they've got the distribution, the infrastructure, they've got the technology, they've got the LLMs, they've got the data, basically every input you possibly require.
Their new tools are actually showing it, mate. They haven't been at the race, I'm going to be honest. You know, their image platforms and their video platforms before this were like a lot less than you'd expect, but their new VO2 and their AI kitchen tools, they are the new winners in each category, actually.
Yeah, and even Gemini 2 has proven
Yeah,
it's the lowest
came out.
cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gemini 2 is really responsive. It contextualizes information better. We're in the process, it's very funny, we're in the process of building a new business with a really capable founder, really cool guy, came to us with an idea. And we're at the process now where we have to decide which large language model we want to build the product on. And actually there's tools you can use that basically act as a bridge. So you can switch models at different times and you pay a nominal fee. It's actually quite smart to do because you don't know in 2 years. And there's always trade-offs between small models versus more expensive, well-reasoned models. But this is quite a simple product with a very singular user case. And we're probably going to elect for Google Gemini, which I never thought I said I would. I kind of default to OpenAI like most people. But yeah, I'm starting to get
They're
into
doing
the
it
weeds
far
now.
cheaper. I saw the graph. They're
Yeah, a
actually
lot
much
cheaper.
closer to the Deepseek, you know, in terms of like cost per token, per million tokens. You know what's a really valuable business model that I've seen just starting now, and maybe Ollie, this is one for you: algorithms, right? If you want to build a piece of code or a website, you need an algorithm to pick the most efficient LLM to build that at the lowest cost. Because why would you talk to an OpenAI if Deepseek can do it at exactly the same? You know, you'd save a lot of cost by having an algorithmic approach.
Say that again. So you mean basically creating algorithms?
No, so imagine this, right? Like, instead of me going to Gemini or
Yeah.
OpenAI and all of these tools, I go to your tool, which is called Ollie AI. Let's just call it Ollie AI. Oli AI has
Right.
a web interface where I add my prompt, and what Oli AI does is algorithmically sort between all of the APIs of the things it can talk to. It understands your prompt and says this is the most efficient one to take for the tasks that
Oh,
you need.
yeah.
Because essentially you don't need the
Well, it's-
OpenAI one for most use cases. It's like the most advanced one. But when are you building the most advanced flow?
Yeah,
Not like
99%
90%
of tasks are repetitive and don't require deep
Exactly.
reasoning and
So you
validation.
choose the cheapest possible reasoning model for the task at hand. That's the algorithm. It chooses from all the available places.
So right now, there's a lot of companies that aggregate and they say they're model agnostic. So you can go in and select any model. What you're describing is the next evolution, which is agentic, of selecting the right model for the right task.
It chooses the model for you. Yeah. You
Yeah.
don't choose the model. It
It
chooses the
knows
model.
that I'm about to do some. I ask it to complete a blog. It goes to Claude for that reason.
Exactly.
There's slightly better reason, better at writing. I ask for an image. It goes to Midjourney. But
Exactly.
I think I don't even think your algorithm would have to be that sophisticated.
No,
'Cause most
wouldn't.
people do the same tasks.
Yeah.
Like, how many tasks are
And
there that?
it's bleedingly obvious which one you'd choose. Like in the image space, I know this much better. So imagine Ben was trying to make a thumbnail and he wanted to put Steve Jobs in it. Well, instantly Grok is the only one who'll give you that likeness. Midjourney will reject that. DeepMind will reject that. Others will have an instant reject to that. So algorithmically, you know the only choices for Grok or Flux. And so like it's like a no-brainer. It's not like it's like, oh, it could be between one or two. It's like, no, some will allow this and others will not. Simply that. But you wouldn't know as a user. You want an algorithm to know that and choose it for you, kind of like a butler that picks the right drink for you, like, or a good something like that. Like, that's what I mean, is we're really lacking that right now. There's like, if you don't know about AI, you go to VO2, it costs you 50
But
cents a
could
second
you
to generate, and
argue that say an operator is already doing that when you're setting tasks? Because what you're describing is, you're saying when I want to execute a task, I select a model to help me. Operator says I will just do it anyway and make those decisions for you. Like there's
kind of, but
comparables.
yeah, but like this is in the human LLM thing. I mean, like you're not.
Yeah, there's passive and there's like I want to be augmented and aided in
Yeah,
my work versus I want something to be done for me.
I
Passive and
just think that it go against a lot of the arguments against AI right now. The arguments are it's too efficient, too energy intensive, is killing our water supply and all of this electricity and the training and everything. It's like, apparently to generate a single image on Midjourney is about the same energy as to charge your entire iPhone.
You know what? You're both monsters. How many trees have you two killed?
I know.
Every track you send us, Chris. All these
Yeah, I
audio
know.
tracks that you're dropping every single day. How many
I
trees are you
know.
killing?
Well,
I
I
don't know
tried
how
to
you
think that
sleep
I
at
give
night,
back
mate.
by, raising awareness for charities and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do my part in the good side of things and promote like causes and stuff like that. But it is a
Same.
serious thing, right? Imagine if an algorithm could save 70% of the wasted electricity of AI. Instantly the argument against AI goes away, which is the big argument right now. It's like this is
I don't know if it
wasteful.
instantly goes away, but I actually think there's got to be people working on it, not for the reasons that you're saying, virtuous reasons for the good of humanity, but because people need to select cheaper models and, it needs to become sustainable. Right now, everyone is subsidizing the use of AI, meaning
Yeah.
it's just done at a much lower cost,
Do you
right?
know the craziest thing about that Gemini one you chose is
Yep.
that you only need one graphics card to run it.
Yeah, it's
If
really
you want,
light,
yeah,
like
if you
really,
wanted to
really
run that
light.
locally, you need one graphics card, and Deepseek requires 35 graphics cards.
Yeah, that's why.
So it's like I imagine a future from now, 3 years from now, where we have that iPhone moment, where the power of your iPhone is more technology than was in the space rocket that went to the moon, aka the largest model that exists in AI right now will be on your smartwatch.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Chaps, I want to quickly segue. Have you seen what was happening with Digg, the comeback of Digg? Did you follow this, either of you? Is this just
No.
me?
Digg.
Yeah. Do you remember what Digg was?
It can't be a comeback if I don't know what it is.
Oh, what the hell is Digg?
So Digg was an old social
Like-
media platform that went head to head with Reddit many years ago. They were like
Oh.
competitors. And then the founder, the
now
co-founder of
you're saying
Reddit.
it's an old thing. It actually does. I thought you thought it was a new. Okay.
No. So the Reddit co-founder has brought it back to life. Kevin Rose and Alex Ahanen. I can't pronounce his surname. I'm going to bail on that surname.
Digg.
Digg. And they had what I thought was kind of cool about it. They had this like interesting waitlist concept. You know, waitlisting is becoming a de facto thing for product launches now. It's not a new thing, but it seems to be used over and over again. The number of parties that are doing waitlisting around products, and everyone seems to be following like marketing trends. I'm seeing a lot of this. Get behind the lens, document the journey. We're going to make the brand together. We're going to fuck some stuff up. Join a waitlist. Like that just seems to be the de facto marketing playbook right now on social media. Community.
Well, there's a reason for it. Is because they're mostly going. You know this, Ollie. They're going for VCs. They need a certain amount of pre-sign ups. They need a certain amount in their
It
deck.
helps validate.
Yeah, it's validation to be able to unlock extra money. But if someone's doing Digg, can someone bring back Vine? For God's sake, me and Ben both know Vine 7-second videos were the thing that started all of TikTok and YouTube short. Everything was from Vine.
Didn't
Vine was
Twitter buy Vine?
amazing.
Twitter bought Vine, so
I
they'll own
don't
the
know
IP.
what happened to Vine ultimately, but it was
Twitter
the
bought Vine.
ultimate.
I'm pretty sure they bought Vine.
Oh,
Let me
just
check.
sell it back. Get it out there. Like Vine, instead of bring back Digg, bring back Vine. Bring back MySpace or something like that. They were cool.
Yeah, they bought Vine and then killed it. Wow. Who bought Vine? Twitter bought it during 2012. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Come on, Elon. We should petition him.
Yeah.
We don't slag you off.
Bring back
Vine. We're on the hype train. Bring back Vine. I don't know. I don't want another super addictive, absolutely intoxicating.
That's why I loved it. It wasn't.
adrenaline
It was 7 seconds, mate. You didn't really pay. It was not
I
like.
promise you 7 seconds repeated today would be very addictive.
I thought it was super creative. I thought, everyone that does these like you call them hooks, Ben, these like really flashy intros, it all came from Vine.
Yeah.
Everyone had to learn that because of Vine. And so I think it made a lot more. How do you squash everything?
They gave everyone ADHD. You're giving them their flowers. I'm like, Vine gave the world ADHD. Thank you.
did
I think
it?
so.
No, I don't
Probably.
think so. I don't think so.
Absolutely, Vine gave them everyone ADHD.
I thought
I
it was
don't
really
want
creative.
another app making me condense everything I want to say into 7 seconds because you just get this is a hook, this is a hook, this is a hook.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you're going to end up with.
It was challenging, but it was fun and it was creative and it was different, That's why I liked it.
Context matters in the environment of social media. Then yes, today it'd just be annoying in my view. It's like
Fair.
I hate short form content at the moment. It's dying.
wow.
Yeah.
I
Breaking
think
news.
short form content is plateauing in its
That's fair.
not popularity. Like it's had its time. It was this really cool, fun new thing off the back of Vine a few years, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and then now it's obviously a staple format. I think it's now just like it's losing its momentum in being this like cool new video format that I think a lot of people are getting pissed off with now, including myself, because there's just so many creators just trying to just clickbait. It's going through the same phase that YouTube went through about 4 or 5 years ago with clickbait thumbnails, and YouTube started heavily penalizing people that were deliberately getting people to click on their videos by, I think, changing up their like measurement of metrics and algorithms so that if someone clicked on your video and left straight away, your video would be punished for that. And I think like TikTok is going through the same phase where you've just got this constant over exaggeration. And like I always actually said, I tweeted the other week out, actually, I think the most valuable videos on the internet will never be seen because they'll be made by people that don't understand they'll be made by older people who probably have all this wisdom of knowledge that maybe have started TikTok or have started YouTube, and they don't know how to package a video to hook someone in the first 5 seconds. And those algorithms won't push those videos out because actually within the middle of the video, this person is like I have some channels that I found on YouTube from some like older guys, right? And they are like 20 years in industry, and I'm like, I know straight away this person's smart, so I'll be like watching the video. But most people just, they just want to be hit straight away with just this. Oh yeah, fucking hell yeah! I just like flew to the moon yesterday, and I'm gonna show you how I did it. No fucking way. No, really? People are so shit dumb on TikTok.
You just hit a really big nerve, mate, because people watch things because of the number of views they have, which is the opposite of what you actually should do for the value of knowledge. Because algorithmically, everyone playing the game is not really the knowledgeable one, Yeah,
no, it's just frustrating because, for me as someone, as a creator in the space that's trying to create with integrity and create with trust in mind, I see people creating stuff on the same things as me and completely blowing out the water what it is and what they say and their words and stuff. And I'm like, that's not. I look at it, I'm like, that's
it's a race
not
to the bottom with clickbait,
and they'll get more views than me. And I'm just like, and it's not a competition, but at the same time, it's part of my revenue and part of my business relies on my views and brands looking at me and thinking that this person is a creator we want to work with, but there'll be 5 other creators getting more views than me because they're just clickbait ass motherfuckers that just lie to their audience and are happy to do that. And the brand will go, oh, they're getting more views. I'm like, yeah, but they bullshit. So it's just a bit frustrating for me because
I've got a nice little segue for you, Ben, right? I don't like to talk about politics generally, but I think one of the most eye-opening things about the craving for longer form, more authentic live content was the Joe Rogan experience and having Donald Trump and him going on long form content. Because if you're going against, trusting someone, if they're just appearing in staged, short form, questions up front, I need to, organize all of that. You don't trust them inherently. You want them to go and talk their mind for 2 hours on a long form podcast. And then you really get to know who they are. You really get a sense of the person.
Do you know your shit?
Exactly, bro.
Do you know your shit? Or are you just regurgitating?
Yeah. Or are you just a very good person at pre-prepping and interviewing and all of that? Because that's what you can do. You can have a whole PR team dress you up and make you look like this and talk like this. And, even think about it in LinkedIn DMs. You shoot a message to someone saying, do you know this? They're not an expert. They ask ChatGPT. They reply back 5 seconds. They look like an expert. There's none of that can be proven on live. Live in form, long form. We're all craving it. As a society, everyone's getting shorter attention spans. And I think, everything's cyclical. We went short form, like you said. TikTok's milked that to the nth degree, and now I feel like more people are gravitating towards long form live in realistic, because that's the true authentic content. I agree. You can't really do clickbaity short form.
People don't want to do it though because they get found out. This is why I do living and long form and podcasts. Yeah, because it's just I do all of those formats because then people get to see me, and I know that I'm not the biggest of people pleasers, and there's lots of people that probably don't like the way that I speak, but I'm honest, and do you know what? That for me, I'm honest and truthful, and I believe in what I say, and for me that stands above anything else. Even if someone thinks I'm an absolute dick, I say I don't care because I'm honest and truthful. You go and like that creator over there that lies through their teeth all the time. Is oh yeah, me. You guys said you do this. Yeah, the TikTok point system. Yeah, I'm just really trying hard to share with you guys all of this. Oh, shut the fuck up. All you're doing is trying to get views on our algorithm to pay yourself. Straight facts. And when I talk like that, people, oh, Ben, you can't say that. I can say that because it's the truth.
Like it is, Ben.
It's the truth. I'm sick and tired of people.
This is your differentiator, mate. Because Ben,
I'm sick and tired of it.
None of those guys would sit down on a 2-hour long form thing. That's where you're going to differentiate.
No, because they get found out because they don't know what they're talking about.
So brands
do you know how many people
towards that? Because the thing that I've understood, and you're really good at this, Ben, you're so good at editing and polishing up someone. You could make someone shit look great, right? That's your skill.
Yeah, I'm not the most technical editor in the world, but I've got good I know how to make something look nice.
But that's what I mean. Anyone could own a YouTube or a TikTok channel and you make them look good. Whereas actually they get found out as soon as they go onto a live or have a real in-person debate about how much they know and stuff. So that's your differentiator to all the other TikToks out there.
Well, it's just
You'll go on
just
lives and riff and talk and on your actual expertise and have your opinions and all of the above. They won't do that. They'll never do that because they don't trust themselves to not say the right thing. They're so guarded and, they're all going to play that short form game, but they'll never play that long form game.
Yeah, no, the reason that it's just, I went off on that rant is because a couple of weeks ago, there was a TikTok point system thing. You might not have seen this, Chris. Ollie, you might have seen this. I don't know. I'll explain it to you. Some people listening might know this. Basically, TikTok has AI summaries at the top of search terms. And basically, there have been enough people that have just been spreading shit information that all of a sudden there's a TikTok AI summary on like this TikTok point system. And someone has interpreted that and gone, TikTok have just released their algorithm and how they rank videos based off a point system. One point for likes,
It was
2
a
points for
clearly
saves.
ChatGPT
And it was a
written-
fucking AI generated summary based off all of the other bullshitters. And all of these people were coming out going, TikTok has just released. And I put my head in my hands and I go, I am embarrassed for you.
On that thing, Ben, was I work at TikTok and this looks nothing like an internal note.
No, but there were so many people that were going, thank you so much for explaining it. And I'm gone,
it's the ultimate I'm looking at everyone wants. And so just faking it is
just annoying, man. That's one thing that I hate the most. And it's TikTok people or people spreading false information for views, or they've just not done their homework. The same as like, Instagram have said that they're going to create a spin-off app of Reels. Where's your source from that? Who's this? Oh, someone overheard it in a meeting in Instagram. Oh, shut the fuck up. Why are there like 50 Instagram videos now on this false information? Where? People just do not do their due diligence and they spread information without checking it.
You know what this is symbolic of? A lack of critical thought.
We're all fucked now. ChatGPT does it for us.
There was someone, but it didn't just stop in TikTok, Ben. I got a message the other day from one of our founders, and I'm very direct with the guys because I always think there's kindness in truth. And he sent me a prompt.
There is.
He sent me a prompt, and I said, he went, "Oh, try this, like amazing." I went, "Have you tried it before you recommend it? Is it good?" And then like. The result was no, I just forwarded it on. But the point being is like, don't tell me this is the best thing ever. Let's all have a little bit of independent thought. And
that's
we have
the
to work harder at it.
Bond over the most, Ollie, is these guys that talk and don't do. Why keep claiming something is the best they'll ever, have you actually used it in a creative project? Are you a creative? The answer is no and no. You're a news reporter and you'll push whatever pays you the most.
Yeah, again, that's the biggest problem we've got.
The mattress topper Google thing is exactly the same in everywhere else, Ben. Reddit is the only truth because they're anonymous. There's no reason. They get no benefit from it. There's no backdoor money. There's
no benefit from it is the big thing there. Because even on Twitter, people get benefit from it. Oh yeah, Reddit is the only real place where you're right. Like you don't get benefit from lying. Really, you get downvotes and you get people coming at you that are like. Exactly. So I just think, like we're in this place.
Even if you don't, think 11 Labs are the best, it might be the best reach, and therefore you post about it, right? Like that's the sort of game that everyone's playing is what's the most popular one? What's the trending one? It doesn't matter if I try it or believe it to be the best. I'll promote it because it's the best of my channel and my reach and my engagement right now. Nice. So regardless, that's my issue with a lot of AI people right now. They're not doers. They're just talkers.
It's the show me the incentive, I will show you the outcome. And it's one of the reasons why podcasting is thriving. It's escaping the algorithm because you get to go, over a long form bit of time, I can start to trust this person's perspective. It doesn't mean that I believe everything that they say, but I've built up enough evidence that they're giving me a solid, safe, or at least thoughtful or pure recommendation. And it's the same, I think you could argue in some degrees in YouTube, but in short form environments, it's trash. And I think like X is a short form environment in many respects. The extreme opinions get amplified. You know, things are formatted in a certain way across the spectrum from LinkedIn, TikTok, any other format is open to manipulation. And unfortunately, the incentives are there to continue to drive that. I'll tell you my biggest bugbear. It's on the same theme to kind of just wrap up this topic. But I saw someone say, and it was well written. It was basically anyone who tries to sell you a business course like knows nothing about business. The most successful business people are not selling courses on business. Like it's just the truth. And I love the knowledge economy and I love the learning economy. But when it comes to business courses, like
Yep.
the people that are selling them haven't really ever built anything
No, of
meaningful.
course not. Their
They-
entire income comes through that course and not through their own business that they actually run in the background, which they say and sell that course on. Another good saying I heard this week that you'll really like, Ollie, is don't call me lucky. I've failed more times than you've ever tried.
yeah,
I
100%.
really like that saying
Yeah, that's
because
nice.
like
I like
so
that.
many like founders have failed so many times, but they're willing to fail, you know, and fail fast is another thing. Fail often and fail fast.
Yeah,
And
you do the right things and luck works with you. The reality is most audacious, difficult things you're going to fail at. And that's the separation between the 1% that make it in their endeavors. They're the person that tried more than everyone else. Doesn't mean they're better, smarter. Doesn't mean they have more skills, more resources. In some cases they do. But moreover, the common theme is they just tried more than everyone else.
yeah, it's absolutely the case, isn't it? Like I know so many people that have like, you know, even Simon Cowell, he tried like 7 different things before Britain's Got Talent kicked off and he went destitute, he went broke. You know, many times people fail, they go into mortgage debt, they have real lives. They're not multimillionaires that you know them like today. They actually had to go through many hardships to get to where they got to. And they were just the ones that had the grinding mentality. It's not even a talent thing. It's just a work ethic thing, actually. And, you know, just putting your like backing yourself over and over again on different endeavors. Another little closer, Ben. Everyone you know is in the top of the funnel. I've just realized this. In marketing, you know, we think of things as the top or the middle of the funnel. Like everyone's in the top of the funnel in short form, and middle of the funnel is long form and live, because that's where you really get to know someone, and it's a much more meaningful connection than your lead magnet or whatever is your top of the funnel, you know, post or whatever. So, like, it's interesting that everyone you're playing against only plays a top funnel game. You know, there's no middle funnel or anything else.
Yeah, you do get like creators that do. The thing is, a lot of long form creators don't do short form, and a lot of short form creators don't do long form. You actually be surprised.
It's
that,
such a
like,
demand to do both. That's why.
It's
And they're
very
so
demanding to
different.
do both. Honestly, I'm not struggling, but it's hard. It's hard doing both. Very, very hard doing both. You need a team of people. It's very hard to do on your own. You couldn't do it. Like, and most short form creators won't do long form just because of the amount of time and effort that has to go into
And the
one
audience
video every
crossover is
week.
not even that much, is it? Like I heard from you.
You get barely any crossover. Like
Yeah.
you only get your true fans that go over, really, and that's only a small percentage. So you're building separate audiences on different platforms.
It's really tough. Like I heard from YouTubers, they're being made to make shorts right now, but that audience isn't translating towards their long form stuff because they're only interested in shorts. But that's
No,
the
'cause
only
they're
place
just the
you can get
same old
attention.
brain rock sort of young. The shorter form audience will just be a much younger audience as well on YouTube, and they're far harder to get to sit still, unfortunately, even though they're young adults. They just won't watch content unless the shorts. I hate shorts. Shorts is the worst out of all of the platforms by a mile. In my opinion, it's all Mr. Beastified, Jenny Hoyd. Like I'm about to go in this shop and there's actually this thing and I've got to do this and then it's like this such like
I think that's also your
formatted
algorithm,
story.
though, because in my shorts, Ben, I get like
I get
murder mystery
movies.
clips and
I just get
No. I get. Oh no. Wait. I get that as well. I get Ronaldo clips, Mr. Beast clips, like football edits with these like fucking anime. It's no. That's why YouTube Shorts is shit. It's either
fair.
really overhyped storytelling, or it's clips and movies. Like it's not like raw original content. It's really weird because long form you get lots of really raw original content.
Yeah.
On shorts it is the polar opposite.
Yeah.
Most of the content on I get fucking Captain America come up about half a dozen times. Like it's all just content that people don't own.
Well, you
And
know what?
it's dog shit.
You know what I get? It switches gears very quickly, but mine will go from like a dude chopping wood with his shirt off to like someone cooking barbecue in the US, through to it's so random, through to like Sopranos binges.
I
Like
bet I
it's
know. Can I predict one of the other ones you get? You
Go on.
get podcast clips with an underlying like song, like let's
no,
say
I don't get those. I get arm wrestling.
Really?
I get arm
Oh,
wrestling.
okay.
I'm like really into like short
a
form arm wrestling.
a new one that I get, Ben, that you'll
Shorts
absolutely
is
hate,
so
right?
shit.
People are putting like Sam Altman type like interviews, and they're putting like dramatic like violin music in it, and that's all the clip is. It's literally like, we might see agents in two years. It's like that. It's fucking infuriating.
Can I say how like I'm gonna slightly
shorts.
disagree with you, Ben? I think it is trash. However, if I'm thinking as a marketeer, I was just thinking then, I never knew I was interested in arm wrestling. And I'm like addicted to arm wrestling right now. Just because it's come up on shorts and I'm just binging
That's
arm
so
wrestling content.
random.
And I'm following the characters and the Canadian guy who's like the main guy, and then you got the Serbian dude who's like a motherfucker. I've started following arm wrestling
Like,
because of
that's how they
shorts.
get you though, because like think about shorts as a strategy. Throw you random viral things that you may not have that much interest in, because it's not like your home feed where you're watching long form stuff, right? So then you did what? You shared probably in the WhatsApp share link of a short. Look at this dude arm wrestle to your mate or whatever. Instantly, you get 2 to 3 times more like, arm wrestling things than the next suggestions of YouTube shorts. And then as soon as you engage or pause or comment or any sort of like motion where you're dwelling, or that's instantly going to show you more arm wrestling. And that's why anything that you do, any interaction on, it's insanely like suggestive to the next thing that you watch. I watch that all the time. I'll watch a DJ set, and then my next 5 things are like DJ things.
And if you stay on that train of thought, it's no different to the main algorithm or how it used to be when it'd lead you down a path of recommendations. But it's if you go from one video to next, they very infrequently show you something different. I've basically completed full I'll tell you why the TV thing's interesting. I've gone and like basically watched a full 5-season series on shorts and then thought, right, I need to go watch the real thing.
Now, you're the reason why there's so much. That's so hilarious. You're saying that.
No,
Think about what you just said. You wouldn't go watch the long form YouTube video. You instead watched it in like 20 different shorts. You're the reason that shorts is like killing everything right now, because you just watched something which you would have usually done in long form in short form.
This is why I go to bed at 2 a.m. on YouTube binges. I am an addict.
That's mental.
Shorts.
That's
anyway, fellas,
mental.
on that note, we've revealed something about ourselves. That's the funny one, actually. You show me your algorithm, I'll show you the person. You'd think I was just a very confused human. It's on my shorts algorithm. You're like, what is this guy? Is he like into arm wrestling? Is he into dudes chopping wood? Is he into barbecue? Is he into music, Phil? Like, who knows? Yeah, the wheels. But good chat. Good conversation, gents. I'll see you next week.
Yeah, man. Bye-bye.
Yeah.